I'm Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And in this video, we're going to be talking to you about, has it been too long for my ex to want me back?
And I know many of you have been waiting a long time.
It's been almost 3 days.
3 decades.
3 days.
Oh,
but
it feels the same.
It feels like 3 decades.
Before we get into it, I did want to say that Craig and I are available for coaching sessions. So if you are interested on talking one-on-one about your situation with us, you can head to the website and book from there.
Absolutely, guys. We'd be happy to help you out because we know how scary and confusing it is. And there's a lot of different kinds of information out there. And some people will say, you know, if you don't hear from your ex by, sometimes I hear like day 120 or something like that, they're never going to come back. Or if they haven't come back by this time, they're not likely going to come back.
They talk about this magical window period that if you don't, talk to them in this time, that you lose them forever. And a lot of it is scare tactics here. Yeah,
absolutely. I really think most people won't hear from their ex for at least 3 months. I would say the majority need more than 3 months, because I think that 3 months is where the negative energy kind of dissipates. The fighting, the arguing, the beliefs about, oh, this is never going to work out, has time to subside, and the person starts to miss you again. Now, obviously, if you're dating somebody who's anxious, they're going to be more likely to reach out sooner than the avoidant. The avoidants need more time. It's just the way they are. They avoid.
Right. And it also depends on the reasons for the breakup, how long the relationship was, and all of those things. In this video, we're going to talk a little bit more about this concept of too long. If there's an expiration date to no contact and what that could look like. Yeah, and it's an interesting concept because we know that you all are waiting and twiddling your thumbs in the meantime, trying to think, okay, when am I going to hear back from my ex? When is this going to happen? We understand this is a very real worry, and we also want to be realistic in that not all exes are going to come back. That's not something that we can guarantee. It's just part of the reality. So for some, there may be a too long and it might be hard to define, but we want to talk a little bit more about attachment, about no contact, and some of our beliefs about breakups.
Yeah, definitely. Because there is a lot of different factors and a lot of things going on in each situation that makes it very unique. So if you're seeing that people are having different situations and oh, my ex came back after this amount of time and you're upset, well, it's probably because there's a lot of very different factors to their situation, right? And the more you understand what went wrong, what were the issues, what are your attachment style issues, what are their attachment issues, all those things, the more you're going to piece it together and get a better understanding of what happened and how long they'll need to repair it and what you're going to have to do. Because repairing it is not easy, right? You get overwhelmed by a lot of different emotions when your ex comes back around again, and that really throws you off. And that's why we're always saying work on the attachment issues.
And sometimes it's so bizarre because you will be in a completely different emotional state 3 months from the breakup, 6 months from the breakup, a year from the breakup. And so we always talk about, you don't know what state your ex is going to be in when you reach out, but they also don't know what state you are going to be in if they reach out.
That's true.
So it goes both ways,
So let's talk about some of the factors that you want to consider. The first one I think you want to think about is what was going on in their life at the time of the breakup. A lot of times they were depressed. They lost a parent. They lost a job. Their career was going poorly, especially with men. They get really thrown off when they feel like they are not on their purpose and they get very depressed. So maybe those areas have improved. That changes a lot of different things. What was your behavior after the breakup? Now, this is huge. Okay? This is why we want you to go no reach out immediately. Stop reaching out. Your brain's going to tell you reach out. Your brain is a liar, okay?
Yeah.
Your brain is lying to you. It's an alarm system telling you to reconnect or we're going to die. No, you don't want to do it. You're going to smother them and you're going to push them away further. So I wouldn't send a handwritten letter or a good reminder text or a clean slate message because all that does is more smothering and it doesn't allow them to miss you. Okay, so your behavior is really important. Okay, there's another big one. This is a tough one. If you find out they're dating someone else. So obviously, if they start dating somebody else, especially in the beginning, they're going to think this new person is so wonderful and amazing and they're going to look so perfect. And then their attachment issues are going to come out and they're going to be like a completely different person and it will fall apart.
Oh, yeah.
Your ex has a fantasy. They're living in a fantasy that this new situation is going to last, and most of the time it will not. Right?
Right. And these are all factors that can interfere with the timeline.
Yes.
So it's going to be very different. Someone who is recovering from a breakup who's distracted in a new relationship. There's an excitement and new relationship energy that comes from that. And that's undeniable. And what does it mean for your breakup? Will that one day dissipate and then they'll come back down to reality and realize, okay, these traits that this new person has aren't, the traits that I've attached to in my previous relationship. And those who move from relationship to relationship, they never fully give themselves time to process and grieve. And that's what's important. Yes, you can grieve and process in a relationship, but it's very different from regaining your sense of self when you're single for some time.
Yeah, absolutely. Another big one that you want to consider is, are they going through any major changes? Did they have to move? Maybe they had to switch careers or switch jobs. Are they dealing with any loss? We see losing family members to illness or illness themselves. There can be a lot of different things that can affect somebody and make them feel like they're not in the right place to focus on a relationship or have the energy to come back and repair things.
Exactly.
Okay, one more. Their own healing journey. What are they doing since the breakup? Are they acting like an adult? Are they in therapy? Are they trying to really grow, doing self-reflecting? Because that would be great. That is going to only make it more likely that you can repair things like an adult.
Right. And if this is a person who marinates in their anger, who lets, grudges really get to them, that's also going to affect the timeline. And we also have a lot of videos on stubborn exes too. So all of these personality traits, the way that they handle conflict, the way that they handle stress and life events, all of these things affect when and if they self-reflect and reconsider the relationship.
Yeah. And so you just have to realize that all these little factors are going to have an impact on when they're going to reach out. And you're feeling like, oh man, it's too long, but they have all these things going on that we've talked about and they're just not in the right place or ready for it.
Right. And people process things at different paces. Craig had mentioned earlier that those who are more avoidant will take their time. It might take them months for the breakup to even hit, for them to even realize that the person that they've seen every day is not there anymore, for their body to catch up with real time. For somebody who's more anxious, the opposite. They might be itching to figure out what's going on in your life. They might be more likely to process things a little bit sooner, and they might also have a different set of emotions.
Yeah. And, it's interesting. How many times have you been on the phone with an avoidant where they were like, I was fine with the breakup. I was moving on. I didn't think they were right for me. And then one day I woke up and I felt devastated.
Yes.
And it's usually like month 5. Yeah. Right?
And it will be just the slightest thing sometimes that triggers it,
Yeah.
I was doing the dishes and I came across her favorite Fruit Loops bowl. And then I realized what I had lost. It's so ridiculous.
It happens a lot.
It does. It does. Yeah, and it's crazy because different types of people process at different rates, also based off of the experiences they had, how in tune they are with their own emotions. Some people are so detached from themselves, and it's hard for those of us who are almost too in tune with ourselves, hyper in tune with ourselves, to even empathize with that, to understand that.
Yeah. It really is.
It'd be really hard.
It's really difficult to understand where they're coming from.
Another big thing is if you are a fix-it kind of person. If you are a person who likes to move, likes to take action, this question probably pops up in your mind quite a lot of, has it been too long? Has too much time passed? And what this question screams to me is a missed opportunity. Has it been too long and now I've lost the opportunity to repair this relationship? You know, is it a gone forever type of situation because I've been so passive and no contact? Have I made the right decision?
Can we pause for a moment on that missed opportunity thing? Because that's a big one. You know, a lot of times an ex will do something small and you don't know how to handle that small thing. Well, they sent this text, or they liked this post, or they did this particular thing. And you may have heard a coach tell you, ignore your ex. And now you follow their advice, and 3 weeks later you're thinking, I didn't respond to that. What do I do now? I feel like I missed an opportunity, which is why we tell you not to ignore your ex.
And that's very different from reaching out yourself. So we're saying if your ex initiates, if your ex texts you, calls you, emails you, Venmos you first, then you respond to that.
Man, I can't tell you how many times I've heard, I saw that they venued somebody named Todd $23.
Oh my gosh.
That's the end.
I don't know whoever invented the Venmo public.
Oh man.
I don't know why.
It makes people crazy.
Why?
That and the Spotify.
I don't think why. I don't understand why everybody needs to know why Venmo, you know, my sibling $20 for pizza. You know, does everybody need to know that?
She's so generous. She split that pizza, even though she only had 2 slices.
It's just strange to me. But yes, yes, it's very different from reaching out intentionally and going out of your way, breaking that no contact, versus responding to an ex. Very different. I will say it is a stronger position to allow your ex to initiate. This is why we talk about no contact all of the time, is that we want to put you in the most confident position, in the strongest position possible. You know, if we are thinking about these missed opportunities and operating from that place of fear, then, you know, it's not going to reap the results that we want. And allowing your ex to reach out first, for them to initiate, puts you in a stronger position. You know, it takes out part of that guessing of, is this the right thing to do? Is this the wrong thing to do? When they reach out to you, they are in a place where they're ready. You know, and I think that's a lot less risky for you. I think that protects a lot more of your resources.
Definitely. You know, you may feel like you want to reach out to them because it's been too long for you. But remember, if you reach out, you're taking a risk, right? And I wouldn't recommend doing it. You know, I recommend letting them reach out first, because it may feel too long for you, but for them, they're in a different state in where they're processing. They're in a different place. And so they may not be anywhere near where you are. And you're just trying to make it happen too soon when it's not ready. And then it just makes it even worse. Because quite honestly, people will come back after months, years, even decades. And of course, we're not telling you to put your life on hold that long. But the record is 50 years. I don't think that's ever going to get topped. Unless we have other species come here, like Yoda's species comes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. 100 years
split
later.
up for 900 years.
I'm ready to try again.
Could you imagine if you were a species that lived like thousands of years? We've been broken up for 2,000 years, and now you come back.
Oh my gosh. I've been thinking about you every day.
Every day.
Every eclipse. You were on my mind. You're ridiculous.
I mean, yeah, but it's true.
We do want to be clear. We don't want you waiting eons and eons for your ex. We don't want you to put your life on hold. You know, you probably have a lot of great things to give in a relationship, and just holding out for hope on a relationship that's ended a year ago, 2 years ago, longer than that, you really have to start analyzing, okay, what can I do next? What choices can I make for my romantic future? And be very intentional with that.
Yep.
And also come to terms with the breakup itself. You know, we have another video talking about going through a breakup and still pining after your ex after a very long time. I don't remember the title, but
I don't either.
We have tons of videos in general, and probably even more than one video on that topic.
Yep.
A lot of times, if it's really difficult to get over a breakup even after a long period of time, it does point to attachment wounds earlier on in your life. So that is a point that I did want to bring up. And I also wanted to reframe no contact a little bit. You know, a lot of you see it as waiting for your ex, putting your life on hold. Like I made that joke in the beginning about twiddling our thumbs while we wait for our ex to text back or to reach out to us. Instead of thinking of no contact as waiting, think about it as preparing. Preparing for your next relationship, whether that be with your ex or not. I know some of you hate that we say that, but we want to be realistic here. Think about it as preparing yourself emotionally, learning as many relationship skills as possible, practicing those skills with as many people as possible, friends, platonically, coworkers, you know, putting these things into action. When you think about time preparing, you almost feel like you can't get enough time.
Yeah.
You know I always take a long time getting ready. So think about it as preparing. You always need more time. There could always be more things to improve on and to work on.
Unfortunately, many of you are going to have to learn the hard way on how much effort you need to make in no contact. I can't tell you how many times I see somebody not do the work in no contact. Like all they do is watch no contact videos. They don't really make an effort to heal their attachment issues, learn confidence, learn how to be a better partner. Their ex comes back and it falls apart again. So trust us. You want to have this mindset. You only have one opportunity, one chance to repair it. How much work are you willing to do? I have so many resources out there for you guys to prepare you. There's over 1,500 videos. And there's, I don't even know, maybe a couple hundred on the secondary channel too. So we're getting close to 2,000 videos. The workbooks are almost 600 pages, 1 through 10. Covers like 94, 97 videos. The creative healing course is even bigger than that. And all of those things will help you prepare. Stop focusing on where your ex is at and what you're doing. Trust us, the process. Focus on yourself. Focus on letting go, healing, getting to a great place, and you're going to be a lot more likely to watch them come back and you be prepared for it.
Very well said.
All right, so hopefully you found this one helpful. Of course, if you want to get our help personally, you can do that on my website, askcraig.net. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Victoria is also available for Skype coaching.
I'm here whenever you'd like to chat.
Just click on her name on the top of the website to schedule with her. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
And I'm Coach Victoria.
And we will talk with you soon.